Hello, welcome back to another breaking news update. My name is Jimmy Boyd, and you were watching Boyd News. I want to thank you so much for tuning in today. I've got some breaking news coming out from the United States and also the Philippines to share with you. So, we're going to talk more about this ongoing clash between the Chinese and the Philippines. And if you're not really familiar with this situation, what's going on here, what you can see in this video is the Chinese Coast Guard slamming into the Filipino Coast Guard boat. Okay, and the reason why they're doing this, the Chinese are trying to prevent resupply missions from the Filipino military from resupplying some of their troops on certain islands that China claims is their territory. Okay, there's a large portion of the South China Sea just to the west of the Philippines that China claims is their territorial waters. But at the same time, the Philippines claims that these islands that they go to resupply are part of the exclusive economic zone, which is okay for the Philippines to enter into these waters. So there's definitely a clash over territorial issues here. And this is an ongoing thing for a number of years now. But we're definitely seeing a major uptick in aggression between China and the Philippines right now. We've even had situations where some of the Filipino Coast Guard members have lost their fingers in some of these attacks from the Chinese Coast Guard slamming into their boats. We've seen damage on lots of the boats, especially the Filipino boats have been damaged. We've seen huge holes in them sometimes. So this thing is getting crazy and out of control over here, and the Philippines and China have not found a way to completely end these hostilities between each other. They did try to come up with a resolution recently, and it looks like that thing fell apart. No one's really sticking to the plan on that. But now we've got the United States coming out and planning to escort Filipino supply vessels in the South China Sea. So now the U.S. is going to be sending the Navy over here and physically escorting these resupply boats over to these islands. So this is crazy now. Now we've got the U.S. military coming over here, potentially getting involved. So this is just really, really big news, and I got to share this with you because we are getting so close over here in this region to a major war breaking out. It's insanity over here. And now the U.S. wants to go and support the Philippines while they resupply. And hopefully this will prevent the Chinese Coast Guard from harassing these boats, which we've continued to see over a number of months. So let's go ahead and jump on over here to Reuters real quick. It says U.S. could escort Philippine resupply missions in the South China Sea. Admiral says. This just came out today, August 27, 2024. And it says down here, U.S. ships could escort Philippines vessels on resupply missions in the South China Sea, a top admiral said on Tuesday, describing what he called an entirely reasonable option that required consultation between the treaty allies. However, the remarks, which are likely to annoy China, which made it by Samuel Paparo, commander of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, after a series of maritime and air confrontations between the Philippines and China in the South China Sea in the past week. So last I knew, Samuel Paparo, this commander of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command, he is over in the Philippines right now, and he's meeting with Ferdinand Marcos, the president of the Philippines, and discussing these details of potentially escorting the Filipino vessels on these resupply missions to these islands. Beijing has pressed its claim to the disputed conduit for more than $3 trillion of annual shipborne commerce, while Manila has kept up supply missions, particularly those to a beach naval ship on the hotly contested Second Thomas Shoal. Escort of one vessel to the other is an entirely reasonable option within our mutual defense treaty, Paparo told reporters on the sidelines of a military forum organized by the Indo-Pacific Command. He was responding to a query whether Washington would consider providing escorts to ships from the Philippines taking supplies to disputed geographical features in the waterway. I mean, certainly within the context of consultations, Paparo added, without giving details of ships likely to be employed for the task. Philippine military chief Romeo Bronner said the Southeast Asian nation preferred to run these missions on its own, however, making every effort to ensure their success despite what Manila calls China's dangerous and coercive actions. We are going to try all options, all avenues that are available to us, Bronner told reporters. While we can do it by ourselves, we will do it. But the Philippines would seek alternatives if found itself constrained from doing so, he added. It's not just perhaps operating with the United States, but also with other like-minded nations. Washington is bound by a mutual defense treaty dating back from 1951 to defend the Philippines in case of armed attacks on its forces, public vessels, or aircraft in the South China Sea. So I will cite this down below if you guys want to read some more of that. I wanted to just show you the bulk of this here on this article. And this is absolutely insane, guys. I mean, if the United States gets involved over here and they start escorting these ships, will that force the Chinese Coast Guard to kind of back off a little bit? Maybe, it's possible. And maybe we won't see as much aggression. We might still see some of the Chinese Coast Guard trying to block and things like that, and definitely patrolling and in a way like secondary escorting the the U.S. warships that are over here, whatever resupply boats that are heading over to these islands like the Spratly Islands, the Second Thomas Shoal. We've talked a lot about these islands that are contested right now from China. And again, this is just very scary because now we've got the U.S. coming over here and getting involved, and we know how that goes. Anytime the U.S. gets involved into things, we usually see escalation soon after that. So it's definitely getting hot and crazy over here, and I wanted to share some of these details with you guys so that way you know, just in case something pops off over here. But we are definitely very close to a major confrontation or a potential war breaking out between China and the Philippines as well, and now also with the United States if the United States comes over here and gets involved. So definitely a very worrisome situation, and nonetheless very dangerous at the same time. So I hope you guys got something out of this. If you did, please smash that like button. Also, if you enjoy my content, please consider subscribing down below. Hit the notification bell. That way YouTube can notify you. With that, hope y'all have a great day. Everybody take care and God bless, and we'll see you in the next one.